What's going on, guys? It's Ashford from ASHTAGbricks here, and well, as of the day of the publishing of this video, it has been a year of ASHTAGbricks, and so while I get the parts to set up for the Let's Build, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has come. And I can't believe it's already been a year, but in some respects it feels like so much longer. And I'd like to say the channel's improved, but yeah, as of the time of the recording of this video, we have, the channel has 9 subs, and so thank you to all of you who have stuck around through all of my rambling, low-talking mess. And so, wow, 1 year and 30 videos. I know we didn't quite reach the 50 videos goal, but that was just kind of arbitrary. We reached 30 videos, which when I was starting out would have been just insane. And you know, even just a few months ago, I would have thought that was insane. But yeah, we've got the Black Panther mini version of the Royal Talon Fighter. And this was a fun set to build, mainly because I've got the full-scale one over on my shelf, and so being able to know the size comparisons, and I actually built it rather recently, so knowing how that came together and knowing how it looked and still remembering in pretty vivid detail how it looked, this was a fun build. And yeah, I'll get to some of the more intricate details as we go along, and I might skip a little bit of the footage so we don't have to come up with small talk and we can just really get into the design video. But I'm just going to say now I'm doing a technique showcase. It's probably going to be a 2-parter on scale, and this is going to be featured. This is just such a good example of one of the types of the scaling technique that I just really wanted to do a bit more dedicated video to it, and it'll kind of be a comparison of the models as well, just throwing that in there. And so it's gonna be fun. I'll probably be making that video sooner rather than later now that this thing is built. And so yeah, right now we're just getting basically fuselage together. That's what's together now, and you can see it's just 10 1x1 clip element plates with the clips attached, all going on, and that's going to be, instead of actual axles holding the talons of the Talon fighter in place, it's going to be just those little clips. And I really love what simulates the talons, and I'll elaborate a bit more on that once we actually get there. But yeah, this was really fun, and already you can see the purple coming through, which is a big thing. All of the vibranium stuff has purple and translite blue coming through, so I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoy seeing purple through this model just in general, because both this one and the full-scale one just incorporated it so nicely. I mean, it was beautiful. So yeah, I think this may take a while. Let me see where we're going, because I think I might skip a little bit, so I'll leave you with some nice music and get back to you soon. Alright, right here you can see what I'm actually assembling or putting onto the main fuselage is actually a rather big detail, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I want to save it for the scaling video, but the way they shrunk a lot of details down into just a 3-piece subassembly was really cool. In fact, I actually had to look over just to see the comparison of the full-size model to this, and it looked really nice. And it was just a really cool way they did it. Right now, they're building basically, I guess you could say, the energy exhaust, or the vibranium exhaust, or whatever it's actually called. It's the exhaust of it, but since it's not running on actual gasoline, I guess we'll just call it the energy exhaust out the back. And I didn't bring the full-size model over to me when recording this, so sorry about that. I can see it over on my shelf, but I can't see the back, so I guess you'll just have to, subscribe and click the notification bell to get a notification for the scale video, where I'll actually look in more detail to really show an example of part 1 of the scaling techniques. So yes, shameless plug, I know, but hey, at least we've gotten that out of the way, so we won't have to do it at the end of the video. Have you clicked the like button yet? No? Well, good. I wouldn't blame you. We're not done with the video yet. Something could go horribly wrong, which, yeah, I might have just jinxed myself. So yeah, right there, it's sort of continuing the details that were summed up with the little white and dark bluish gray subassembly. And so yeah, what are we doing now? Gathering parts, apparently. Can't really tell for what. Yeah, I'll get back to you in a second. Alright, I know I got back to where we're gathering parts, but here you can see we're actually putting on the talons of the Royal Talon Fighter, and what they did for this was so cool. So if you guys have seen any Star-Lord minifigs, any Peter Quill minifigs, you'll know the piece I'm talking about, but they're actually using his blaster. So in the original set, and I'll probably repeat this in the scaling video, but they actually used some old CCBS parts that were actually introduced in the Brain Attack wave, I believe, with Surge's set, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember for sure, but I believe it was Surge's set and the jetpack rocket that was the first introduction of them. But they used that, and it's really cool, and it's really large, and so obviously it's not what you really want to do when you're doing a micro build. But what they're using here is actually Peter Quill's blaster element, and that was just, when I realized what piece was being used, I just kind of had a geek out moment. So, be glad that the actual footage was muted for the voiceover, because I did, I'm not gonna lie. I really geeked out about that, and so they just used 10 of those to just pop into the clips, and you can see I actually had to break because I could not find the 10th one. So didn't want you just sitting there watching me fumble around trying to find the 10th blaster. But yeah, the way they did that, the way they actually did those blasters was really cool. And what I'm doing right now is actually building up, what the set's actually doing right now is just building up the sort of propulsion methods. And so, of course, there's a lot less detail you can do because of the size, or at least a lot fewer places to include detail. So they didn't actually include like landing gear and stuff, but the way they did sort of the propulsion gear was really cool. It's the same elements because those little round pieces to use for hovercraft and stuff, and boats and planes and all sorts of stuff are used quite commonly, but it's to a much greater effect of using 3 or 5. But here it's just 3, and since it's such a small fuselage and such a small craft overall, it really just, those 3 pieces alone just really bring up the craft by a couple of centimeters, actually. And so that was kind of cool. And if you sort of rock it about, which I've actually got the micro model or mini model in my hand right now, and so you rock it about on a table, and it does sort of, you can sort of tell that it is raised up off the ground. So yeah, what are we doing now? Yeah, there I'm just attaching 2 of the not rounded, relatively new corner tile elements, the ones that have an angle but it's not curved. Yeah, those just, again, everything's just shrinking down the detail of the original set. So let's see. Yeah, still just building that off. And so, thank you for watching this, guys. If you enjoyed this video, like I said, leave a like on it. Check out our brother channel, as I always do. Thank you for a year of #bricks, and here's to the next one. And I'll leave you to this footage displaying the model. See you in the next one.